Hello, all my fairy friends. My name is Fairy Belle, and I'm a book fairy. And today we're reading a story called The Adventures of Kenzie-Moo. Hi, I'm Kenzie-Moo. I can't see with my eyes because I'm blind. If you close your eyes, you might sense the world with other parts of your body, just like me. I can listen with my ears, smell with my nose, taste with my tongue, feel things with my body, navigate with my cane, and use my imagination. I use my whole body to see and learn about the world around me. I went on a big road trip with my mum. We travelled around Australia and we had so much fun. First, we went to the Hunter Valley. I went on a helicopter and I saw this. I stepped into the helicopter and waited for the pilot. He jumped aboard and said, "G'day," and everything went silent, but only for a second while he got himself strapped in. Seatbelts on, click, click, click. Then a little bell went, ding. We put on special headphones with a little microphone. Testing, 1, 2, 3. But all I could do was moan. I was feeling very nervous and my tummy felt quite ill. I'd never been in a chopper, so I sat quietly and still. The engine started whizzing and the propeller started too. Chugga, 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 chugga it went. I didn't know what to do. "Kenzie-Moo, can you hear me?" the pilot softly spoke. "I hear you loud and clear," I said, and then I cracked a joke. Everyone was smiling as the engine roared and hummed. Then the helicopter wobbled and my body felt quite numb. I started shaking softly as we lifted off the ground. I started giggling wildly and hollered to the sounds. "Woohoo!" I shouted so everyone could hear. I felt the buzzy vibrations and smiled from ear to ear. Up we went. Up so high we turned and dipped and dived. I couldn't see the view, but loved that crazy chopper ride. That was my adventure, the adventure of Kenzie-Moo. Do you think if you closed your eyes, you'd like that adventure too? Then we went to Coffs Harbour. I swam with Bella the dolphin. And I saw this. At Dolphin Marine Magic, I wore my water shoes. I got kissed by a seal and was even on the news. I squeezed into a wetsuit that came down to my knees, and when I got to the water's edge, my toes began to freeze. The water was icy cold, but I braved its cool, wet touch. I knew if I could do it, I would love it very much. I walked in very quietly and waited for Bella to come. She snuck up right beside me and knocked over my mum. I felt her long, wet, slimy body gliding right beside me. She rolled around and loved my hand rubbing her wet tummy. She loved to play catch, so I threw the ball afar. She splashed her tail and caught it like a dolphin superstar. I waved at her and she waved back and splashed me in the face. "Brr," I said, "the water's cold," and we played a game of chase. Psh went the air from her loud blowhole. I was having so much fun, I forgot that it was cold. "Eat, eat, eat, eat," she said to me and blew a great big kiss. a kiss from Bella's blowhole. Now that's something that I miss. That was my adventure, The Adventures of Kenzie-Moo. Do you think if you closed your eyes, you'd like that adventure too? Then we went to Rainbow Beach. I went to the Carlo Sandblow, and I saw this. We walked along a bush track and I heard the birds sing. Leaves rustled under my feet and the fresh air made me spin. The sun peeked through the treetops and a breeze wisped through my hair. We walked along the beaten track and suddenly we were there. It's hard to walk in soft sand and I needed a big rest. I had my cane to lead the way, then Mum shouted, "Up there is best." I walked along the sand dune and my senses were overwhelmed. The greatest, longest, loudest echo I have ever heard. The sun was high up in the sky and the sunlight really shone. It was worth the heat to hear my voice go on and on and on. Coo-wee! My voice travelled so far, it didn't know where to stop. I moved my body left and right to see where it would hop. I listened very carefully to see how far it would go. I screamed and hollered and whooped at the Carlo Sandblow. Over the sand dunes, across the treetops, it went so far away. Mum called out, "Kenzie-Moo!" That really made my day. That was my adventure, The Adventure of Kenzie-Moo. Do you think if you closed your eyes, you'd like that adventure too? Then we went to the Whitsundays. I went to the Great Barrier Reef and I saw this. The boat was fast and windy as the sea sprayed in my face. I tasted the salty water as the boat began to race. Speeding across the ocean, it was noisy and so bumpy. The waves were bouncing high and I felt like I was jumping. We sat on the edge of the boat and I felt the fishes swim, splashing around my toes. I didn't want to get in. "Come on," Mum shouted, giving me a nudge. No point sitting on the edge, but I didn't want to budge. But then I took a great big breath and finally jumped in. Suddenly, a grouper fish came up to me to swim. I felt his scaly body, and then he swam away. Little fish came near me, and they wanted me to play. I heard a funny sound, tut-tut-tut-tut-tut-tut. They were gobbling up their lunch, and they nibbled on my foot. The water swished around me, and I floated with my mum. She held my hand and swam with me under the warm sun. The ocean is so big and deep and made my body sway. I couldn't see the coral, but loved swimming anyway. That was my adventure, The Adventure of Kenzie-Moo. Do you think if you closed your eyes, you'd like that adventure too? Then we went to the Daintree rainforest. I went exploring and I saw this. We wandered through the Daintree and we listened with intent. The wonderful sounds of nature in tropical North Queensland. The air is hot and sticky and the rain is very warm. We climbed some trees, we felt the plants and got caught in a tropical storm. We walked along the beaten track and smelt the warm, fresh air, then searched for the wildlife and waterfalls in there. The roar of the waterfall took me by surprise. The water crashed down the rocks that rose to the sky. The bird songs were so vibrant, and we sang along in tune. A goanna rustled past us, and Mum squealed when it moved. We hunted for a crocodile and bathed in the sun. I closed my eyes and smiled, happy lazing with my mum. We sat and listened quietly to songs of the long-lost past, and were grateful for the journey that had brought us here at last. That was my adventure, the adventure of Kenzie-Moo. Do you think if you closed your eyes, you'd like that adventure too? Next time you're on an adventure, close your eyes to see. Sense the world a little differently. Maybe you'll see it just like me. And here's a picture of Kenzie and her mum. And that's the end of the story. Would you like to try that? Let's all close our eyes. And what can you feel with your body? What can you hear? What can you taste? Can you smell anything? Open your eyes. Next time you go on holiday, you might like to try going on an adventure like Kenzie did and close your eyes and see if you can experience the world in a different way. Thank you very much for listening to my story, and thank you very much for believing in me. And never forget that I believe in you too.